Hey guys. So a common problem that I see people run into when they are recruiting for a new job, right, or trying to figure out what they want to do next in their career is they know what they want to do, but they feel like they have sort of weaknesses on their resume where they're like, oh no, like I don't have relevant experience, or here's just like things about my background and what's on my resume that are disadvantages. And I now need to sort of explain them away or compensate for them. And let me just give you another way of thinking about this. I want you to look at whatever you think is a gap or a deficiency in your resume or your experience and ask yourself, how is it possible that this is an asset and not a liability? So let me just give you some examples. Let's say you're recruiting for a company and you don't use their product. And you're like, oh my gosh, that is like not good, right? That is a bad thing. And I need to like quickly go use their product or kind of explain away why I don't use their product because I like really should be using their product. And a way of turning that into an asset is to say, I'm actually in their target demographic, or like I should, reasonably speaking, I should be using their product. Why am I not using it? What kind of gap in their marketing, in their product delivery, in their messaging is this actually revealing, right? And you have to say that you then have to be like, oh my gosh, you guys are doing a terrible job. But this is an opportunity for you to say, that's so weird. Let me just sort of do an N of one analysis of myself to say, why am I not using it? And that actually could provide more interesting fodder to talk about and more kind of showcase your analysis of the situation to be like, yeah, I totally should be using your product. And, maybe you still sign up for it or maybe to like just understand it from your own experience. But actually the fact that I'm not using it is an interesting asset that we can kind of dig into to understand, like, why am I not? Because I really should be. Or to give another example, let's say you feel like you don't have really direct experience in the same thing that you're going to be working on, right? Like, oh, I haven't specifically been a product marketing manager before and I'm recruiting for product marketing manager roles, and like, oh no, I haven't done this literal exact thing before. You can look at your past experience and say, well, hang on, what are the things that I've done in the past that are actually really relevant to this particular situation, right? And so maybe even if you haven't done literally exactly the same thing they're looking for, to look at your past experience and say, well, hang on, the kinds of skills that I developed, the kinds of processes that I had to run, the kind of situations I ran into, none of that stuff is a liability. All that is an asset, and all of that has actually prepared me to come and be here. So there's nothing to explain away. There's nothing to apologize for or feel kind of weird about or try to hide. Look at your whole resume and ask yourself, how is everything on here an asset for this next role, not a liability?